Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Tarot time. Now, you would think I'm pretty seasoned when it comes to recording on TikTok. One would think, wouldn't one? I would. That's what I would do. So, I started making a video on TikTok. I hit the 10-minute thing, but I said to myself, no, it's not 10 minutes. It actually will go longer because what I intended to do was at the end of the video, I wanted to add a card for each individual astrological sign for the month of September after I did this reading with the clear cards. And all of a sudden, I don't know if it's something new because I rarely record in TikTok. I usually like to record on my phone and then I put it on, different social medias. But anywho, it cut me off. And I'm just a firm believer if the video cuts off or it doesn't, and that's my own little thing, if it doesn't finish, come to fruition, the message is not yours. Okay. The message is just not yours. So I am starting all over again because I am bound and determined to give you a reading and then do a card for each astrological sign at the end. So please stay. So anywho, happy Sunday. It's beautiful here. I'm still in disarray. And then I had a little episode a week ago. I sound like an old person when I complain about my ailments, but I'm okay with that. I went to a fast food, I'm not going to even name it. I got something quick to eat, shame on me, and ended up with a parasite. So I've been a little under the weather, but I'm getting back. I'm on an antibiotic. I'm getting back, and I am like, I watch those progressive commercials, about are you like your parents? And I'm like, damn, you can't help it. It's like being at the top of a hill and it's icy. You can't help it. You go down it. You just can't help it. And you try so hard. But anyway, so let's talk about something pleasant. It's beautiful here today. I have my door open. Luna's looking outside at the squirrels. They're going to have a standoff. I could feel it. But anywho, so yes, if you stick to the end of this video, I will draw a card for each individual sign. Okay. I don't know what the hell this is. I can't read these cards traditionally. I'll just say that. I can't read them traditionally, so don't even try. So I feel like a lot of you are going out on a limb like that. If you're not, someone else has decided to go out on a limb to either reach you or you want to reach somebody else. You're trying for something. That could be a lot of different things. Job, you want to buy a house. A lot of different things. You're like, you know what? I am just so tired of the same old, same old. I want to try something different. I want to go out there and try it. Excuse me. And the fact that it may not be, lower this a little bit, the fact that it may not be safe to do, you're throwing caution to the wind. You're like, you know what? I'm not talking like a physical safety. I'm talking, I'm just talking about sometimes we make our lives very safe because we're afraid of what if we don't. You know what I'm saying? We stick with the same job, even if though we don't like it. We kind of stick with the same friend groups instead of making new friends. We don't seek outside to see a relationship. We end up sticking with what is we consider very safe in our life. So I feel like a lot of you are going to start going out on a limb and you're going to say, you know what, I want a little bit more. I'm getting older. I know I want to experience some more things, so on and so forth. And the thing about it is, by doing this, that you're going to lose some friends. Okay. That there's going to be people who are going to be big naysayers and say, you're crazy. Why are you doing this? Just do this. There's just people who live their life, wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But you are getting itchy and you are getting antsy and you're feeling like you want to go out on that limb, but you're going to have to take control if you want to do it. And I hate to say it, but you're going to have to be that bitch. You're going to, because you seem to have a lot of people around you who want to keep you down, whether it's friends, family, whatever it is, significant other. But you have to realize you can't listen to everybody. Okay, because don't forget, everybody brings their own yardstick when they measure. So if safety works for someone else and same old works for them, it might not work for you. You know, it might not work for you. So I think if you're willing and ready to go out on that limb and take a chance with something, you've been mulling it over in your head. Now, I don't advocate going in and quitting tomorrow or Tuesday at work. No, no, no. But if you want to try something a little different, a side hustle, whatever you want to try something different, go for it. Try it. As long as you're not hurting yourself or others. You know what I'm saying? And it's not reckless. I don't believe in reckless behavior. I got a Virgo moon. I can't do reckless stuff. But whatever you're deciding to do, you're planting the seed for a very prosperous, loving, fruitful tomorrow. Okay. So go out on that limb, give it a whirl. Okay. Now we're going to start, and no one's cutting me off because this is my own video. We are going to start with Aries for the month of September. And I'm going to use my Robin Wood deck. For the month of September, what can you expect? And I'm going to pull a card individual for each one. So the month of September, you're going to find, Aries, that you're a little more kind. Not that you're mean by any means, but you're going to find you have a little bit more patience with a lot of things, not just other people. You have patience with yourself, and that's very, very important. You're going to have patience with yourself in certain situations, and you're going to learn the not reactive. Don't be reactive. I always tell people I was so reactive back in the day till I learned the hard way. I was so reactive. I could text a friend. If she's watching this video, she'll adhere to it. I could text a friend and I would say, I'm going to blah, 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 send the text. Within seconds, she'd send it back. Don't do it. Too late. Already did it. So it's years ago. But that's when I used to start telling people, because I learned, unless your ass is on fire, don't do anything, So you're going to learn that. Are you going to learn it the hard way? You could. I mean, those are really the best ways to learn lessons. It doesn't really stick unless it's the hard, hard way. But we like the Queen of Cups. And even though you're a fire sign, your water sign is going to kind of take over because we all have different signs in our chart. And you're going to find that you find peace in solitude, which I don't know if that's ringing a bell with anyone, but I'm picking that up really strong. You finally find peace in solitude. You like sitting there. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not open to love, but with the little hanky over, it means that you're going to start filtering love a little bit more. Okay. You're going to start filtering it. You're going to be, a little bit more looking through things and not being so reactive. Hey, you want to go out to dinner? Nah, there's no sense. You think to yourself, I wouldn't say this to a person. There's no sense in doing that. So you're going to find out that you're not as reactive. That's for my Aries. I'm going to put that over there because at the end, I got to make sure I have 12 cards. Okay, Aries, Taurus. What do I have for the month of September for Taurus? So now we got an earth sign acting like a fire sign, which is good because Tauruses can be a little on the procrastination side. Okay. I got a lot of Tauruses in my life and none of them disappoint me. And the thing with the Queen of Wands with Tauruses tells me that for the month of September, you're going to find where you grab the bull by the horns. Like you're tired of maybe the same old, what's going on, stagnation, nothing moving. You're finally like, no, I got to make this happen. I really do. Because you know what? I really want to get from point A to point B. And I'm not going to do that just sitting here in the earth element. I have to bring in some fire to my life. So for a lot of my Tauruses, you're going to find where you finally take control over situations that were probably taking control over you. So you're going to see where September, all of a sudden you have this aha moment. Maybe it's the cooler air. I don't know. But you know what? You have the aha moment and you grab at it. Oh, I love that for my Taurus. Okay, let's talk about a Gemini for September. Any Geminis here? Let's see. And as you notice, I'm shuffling for each sign. Okay, so Gemini, you're in the middle of making a decision, but what do? I guess your butt's not on fire, so you don't do anything. You sit there and you do a little procrastination. Okay, you do a little procrastination. Now let's look at these swords. These swords have reflections. So that tells us what you're thinking of two things are actually real. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here. So that's either you or somebody you're dealing with. And it could be the person you're dealing with has a choice between two people. I don't know why I just got it, but I got it. So for my Geminis out there, if it's not you, it's someone else. Here's the thing, the tide is out. Okay. The tide is out. The tide's coming in. So it's going to take the decision out of your hands if you don't make it or the other person. Make sense? So if you want to be in control of your life, Gemini, you have to make the decision and you're going to have to make it soon. Because if you don't, the decision is going to come out of your hands. Now, that can mean a lot of different things. If you know you're waiting to hear about somebody making a decision about being with you or giving you that job or whatever, maybe it's time for you to walk away from that person. Maybe it's time for you to go look for another job. It's up to you, Gemini. What's it going to be? All right, Gemini. Um, Cancer, right? I know if I miss one, you guys will get on me. Cancer, what do you have for the month of September? So, as my cancers go, September is going to show that you finally give up on the needless worry, and I don't want to downplay it. It's important to you, but after a while, come on, let it go. Again, I'm going to show you the difference. See, these swords have no reflection and these do. This is real. That's not real. So what you're worrying about really isn't real. It's just, you've thought of worst case scenario and then it jumps to another worst case scenario. The one thing I like about the Nine of Swords is that it's very, very short term. Okay. So what you're feeling, in the month of September, maybe early part, as the month goes on, you're going to either have a realization that it's not real, it's not going to happen, your stress goes away, or something will come in that will alleviate all the stress. Like, um, somebody maybe ghosted you and you're like, oh, I'll never hear from that person again. It doesn't always have to be love. And all of a sudden it shows up. Same thing with job. You put in an application, you go for an interview, everything's all hunky dory, but we get in our head. Okay. We get in our head that we have to hear by a certain time, so we don't hear by a certain time. And what happens is we've got the scenario that it's not going to happen. But this is good because this tells us that you are going to get relieved, whichever way it happens, whether you find your own peace or somebody gives it to you. Okay. Leos. Did I miss anyone? No. Well, I'll count them afterwards. That's why I left the cards next to me. I'm like so bad. Leos for the month of September. Let's see. So see how that card's worn there. So Leos, you have an opportunity to, I'm going to talk about love for a second. I feel it has to do with love. You have an opportunity to firm something up. You may have been dealing with someone who's away from you at a distance or has not made a move. Okay. Usually this is my hangman because that's my Pisces card. But you're going to find that maybe this person decides to do the dance with you. If it's not them, maybe it's you. Maybe you're deciding to take a something, a chance with something. Because don't forget, the Four of Wands talks about stability. It talks about solid foundation. And maybe you felt, a good part of this year that you haven't had that in your life. But you're going to find that in the month of September, something is going to snap, something's going to change. And here's your own element showing up because wands are a fire sign. And you're going to see that there's an opportunity in the month of September to really firm up that loose, kind of uneven footing that you had. Okay. Let's see, Leo's August. Oh, Virgo, because we're in Virgo season, right? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, Virgos, September. You are going to do a little family reconnect. Okay. You're going to find that you find joy, excuse me, that you find a joy in family gatherings. Okay. You find joy in family gatherings, and you're going to see that you reach out a little more, but not only that you reach out, you accept invitations. So for some of my Virgos, you've may have been isolating yourself, but now you're going to find that you're going to really kind of initiate it too. You know, you're going to find joy though in it. That's the thing. You want to be able to find joy. Okay. All right, my Virgos. I like that for you. Libra. Ooh, let me just do this so I don't get in trouble. Libras. In the month of September, this is very, very huge. You're going to find your wish that you've been manifesting and everything else is basically going to be dropped in your yard or house or whatever, in a good way, an asteroid. You're going to find that what you've been wishing for is definitely coming your way. The star card talks about being the fairy godmother of the tarot, okay? And rightfully so, because it's also the good karma card. So all the good karma that you've been doing, guess what? Universe been watching you, and they see you and they're like, you know what? We're going to DoorDash you some good karma. And there's good karma, there's bad karma. It's another story for another day. But you're going to find that these are things you've wanted. It's not just random wishes and it's not just random things that happen. It's going to be specific things you've been looking for and wanting. We all have little secret wishes of what we want, which is good. That's what makes the world go round. And you're going to find that they get dropped right in your lap. Okay. Libra. So now we're on to Scorpio for the month of September. What can Scorpio expect for the month of September? Of September. Scorpios. Scorpios, you're going to find that you're learning something new. Okay, you've decided to maybe, I don't know, read a book, take a course, take a class. I don't know, maybe you're a teacher, but you're going to find, Scorpios, that you're shining the light on things that don't work. And you're putting a little bit of distance between you and some people because you are learning that. You're learning what works in your life and what doesn't. Look, no matter what age you are, it's never too late to work, to learn. It's a parasite. Calm down there, George. So I like the Hermit card for you. The Hermit talks about a few things. It talks about sometimes we all need to get away and quiet our head. And sorry, the airplane's going by. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah. So the Hermit talks about, and that's a card of Virgo too. So we're in Virgo season, even though this is Scorpio. It talks about needing time alone to gather our thoughts, needing time to meditate if you do such a thing, and just being away from all the chatter. Because sometimes we can get involved with too much and we're involved with too much chatter. And sometimes we need to take a break. You know, we need to kind of stop asking for opinions. You know, I always say, like I said in my other, I said it somewhere, everyone brings a yardstick when they measure. So you may be into, it's like, you may like something in your house. Here's an example. So you decided you want to put, I don't know, a pink rug in your house. I'm just using it for terms. You want to put a pink rug in your house and you freaking love this rug. You love it until someone says, ew, you want to put that? So now you're second guessing your choices. Okay. So I find the easiest way, although I'm not really guided by what people tell me, unless I got to be honest with you, with this remodel and redecorating and everything, I get to a point where I'm so tired making decisions. I usually have I have a choice between two rugs, go figure. And I said it to a friend of mine, I go, here, pick one. But this is a little bit different. I feel like you're too guided by what people tell you. So I think the quietness and getting rid of the chatter is going to be something very beneficial for you. Sagittarius. Let's see what our Saggies are up to for September. Well, Saggies, it looks like you're going to be earning a little bit of buck there. Okay. It looks like you're finally going to get into a place where you can go, and you feel comfortable. All right. Now, King of Pentacles is somebody who is very confident in everything they do. They're confident in their job, they're confident in their work, they're confident in their relationships. And I think you're going to get there. I think September is going to be a very um, motivational. I like that word. It's going to be a very motivational month for you when you realize that you've had all these components in you and now they're coming out. So something is going to bring this stuff out, okay? Whether it's a situation, a person, whatever happens, you're going to find the month of September, you finally go, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. And you feel confident and comfortable in everything that happens around you. It's massages. Okay, now we're on to Capricorn. I'm going to count them all at the end, the cards. That's why I left them out and see. Okay, we need Capricorn for the month of September. Capricorn, if you've been by yourself or you've been kind of waiting for someone, let's talk about love. You have some love offers coming in, and this person's pretty serious. The only thing with the Knight of Cups you got to be a little careful about is the love bombing. You know, they may come on too soon. You know, they may meet you within an hour and think you're the one for them, you know, where you're sitting there going, yeah, well, crazy comes out a little later, but okay. So the Knight of Cups tells me that you have definite love coming your way. And it could be from a water sign, doesn't have to be. I love water and earth together. I think they are one of the best combinations out there for astrological. But I do think you have it coming. Have you been looking for it? You say no, but I think you're side-eyeing it in a way. And I think this person comes in and they give you a lot of what you've been missing. I feel like you haven't had it in a long time. So I like that for September. Okay. So now we're on to Aquarius. And then I'll do a collective too. I'll do a collective. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius. Oh. My fastest moving night. I put it over there. Like you guys can't even see it. See, I told you I got the cards like stacked up here so I can see, so I can count them. How sad is that? So Knight of Swords, our fastest moving swords. Well, Aquarius, you get like I don't know, you get like really pissed off and you're deciding that you're ending something. You are turning around and you are walking away and you are doing it very quickly. So I don't know if it's a relationship, job, whatever, but there's going to be something that you, not somebody else, you decide to exit very quickly because you're just sick of the commotion, you know? And this, it's not an emotional thing as much as it's a head thing. Because don't forget, swords are all about our thought process. Okay. And it's something that you've been mulling over a little bit, but you're doing that reactive thing I've talked about where you're just like, no, today's it, I'm done. See you later. And you're like, today? You know, it's like, you know, I want to do, you know, I want to go buy a new car. I want to go buy a new car. And then, you know, you walk into a dealership. Okay, I'm going to buy one. So I think you're doing that. Do I think it's like buying a new car? No. I think it's attached to something that may have a little anger to it. So whether that's a friendship, relationship, whatever it is, only you know. But you're doing it and you're doing it quickly in the month of September. Pisces. Do we have any Pisces out there? I think I did them all, right? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I did. I remembered. Yay. My daughter breaks my balls all the time. And she's like, draw me a clock. If you know what that means, go look it up. Draw me a clock, wise ass. This is why we have kids. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, Pisces. I'm so happy for you, my dear. You're there. You're getting there in the month of September. Things are flourishing. Money's going to flow. But it's longevity. I love aces because aces talk about longevity. You started at ace, you got a long way, sister, to go. You got 10 years, if not more, of prosperity, of things. You're on the right path. of things to move forward in your life. You're going to start seeing in the month of September all this happening for you. And it's right there. It's not going to be hidden. And if you look at these mountains back here, you see, you know what those are? They're issues and problems. They're so far away, you're not going to even see them. You're going to think you're in a dream. You're going to think that you fell asleep and you're dreaming all this, because everything you touch will have the Midas touch. You look at something and you want it to work out, guess what? It works out. So it's a great month for Pisces. This is the beginning of it, where you start to see everything come into fruition, and you're almost pulling yourself back going, all right, well, this is good, I guess. Like, you're like, oh, is this really happening? Yes, it is. It's your time. All right, let me draw one card for the collective. Yeah, I remembered more. All right, stay for the collective. Now, these two, you could listen to these signs if you have someone like you want to be a cross watcher. Okay. Okay. So for the collective, for the month of September, you are going to have a few disappointments. Who doesn't? I mean, there's always a disappointment somewhere, somehow, but don't focus on it. It could be the littlest thing. And I know some people, they focus on the littlest thing when it comes to disappointments. It's like the littlest thing, and they make mountains out of molehills. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to you, don't listen if something's important, but I'm saying learn how to push things out of your mind. You could do it. It's a trained thing. I've learned it. People, things, learn to push. Let's not focus on those two cups, because these three cups, because you have more right here. It's coming, like it's going to come in so quick that I almost feel the disappointment is going to be a day, half a day. It's not going to even be there that long. Let's not look at things that we know we can't fix, we can't control, we can't do. Okay, it's like unringing a bell. You can't unring a bell. The sound's already out in the atmosphere. You can't do it. Okay, like this liquid, you can't put it back in the cup. If you tried, you would have a version of it that wasn't even close. So acceptance is key too for the month of September, and with acceptance brings new things to you, because once you start accepting things in life, you see that other things follow easily. All right, if you've stayed with me through this whole video, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Put it in the comments how you feeling. Um, this was a good one. I liked all the readings and I didn't miss anybody. All right, everyone, this is Coffee and Tarot time. It is Sunday. I am the Queen of Wands. Everybody, have a great day.